will never have a problem finding a space. See, most of us, particularly us as African American, we do it by happenstance, and we just trust that God's going to work it out. God is omniscience. He is all science. So what is accountability? Accountability, by definition, means responsibility to someone or for some activity. You need another person involved in your life to help you to get to wealth. Most people confuse it with discipline, evaluation, and criticism. That's why some of you don't come into the right type of healthy accountability. Accountability is a very powerful and personally enabling process. The greatest success and the highest achievement almost always are due to accountability. And in order for you to be a part of this, it's going to be a $25,000 fee. Why must I charge? Because information you pay for, you keep. Information you get for free, you lose. I'm spitting out wisdom that people pay thousands for right now, and there's people not even writing it down. If you paid $25,000, you would have Ederols in the air, recorders, everything, because now it has a value. When the relationship doesn't have no value, you can't get anything out of the relationship. That's why Jesus could do no mighty works in Nazareth, because they saw him as the what? Someone help me.
Carpenter's boy.
Carpenter's son. The familiarity killed the process of the miracle. This will probably be the last year that you can come into POEM voluntarily. In the future, I'm toying with this in my mind. You won't be able to ask us, but we would have to invite you in. And it would be by invitation only. See, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all may walk by this door in a minute and see members only.
Jesus.
Y'all may come to this website. You better enjoy this freebie now. But you may see a chat room where you're gonna have to come with a password, and to stream with us live, gonna be members only. Because when you have to pay, I won't have a problem getting 100 people in the chat room right away. You'll be there sitting there at 5 minutes to 12. And then I can give you all type of stuff, and I don't have to be watchful for what I'm saying. Right now, we got it all open. We got pastors that have left their morning service that is watching us right now because they're getting their message for next week. We drop the links in the chat room. They says, thank you very much. Come in an anonymous name. Take it, and they have their sermon for the next week. We're fine with that. But you can't do anything with the material without the relationship. Amen. There can't be no true consummation until you step into mentorship. Let me tell you why. The greatest success and the highest achievements are always due to accountability. Now, Prophet Tom, you're going to love this. Big success comes with 10% from having goals, or goals specific or goals written. The other 10% comes from having an action plan, predetermined strategies and activity. 80%, Prophetess Deborah, comes from having accountability. You've got to have a coach. What's the difference between a Tiger Woods and a Michael Jordan or a Pavarotti? A coach is a coach that gives you the winning edge. All of you have had the same material. You got the Business of Getting Rich. You've got the Laws of Thinking. You got all of my stuff. You got Cosmic. You got all of my teachings. I'm spitting them out. You're getting every DVD. You're sowing in every service. Hear me what I'm saying. There comes a point that when the coach walks into your life, Jesus will close the book and make you close all of that material and shut it down, because it's got to be experienced and it's got to become incarnated in the soul. And that can only happen through accountability. And so this is why I'm taking 12.
12, only 12.
Only 12 that I'm allowing in the initial year. You'll go where I go, I will let you read what I read. You will call me up and say, Master Prophet, I got about 3 or 4 days. You know, there was times when I would go to Reverend Ike, and I was sharing this the other day. I said, you know, there was time when I would go visit with Reverend Ike.
Listen to this.
And when I would go visit with him, he hardly spoke to me. We did more talking on the phone. I would go visit with him, and he would pull out his Wall Street Journal and be reading it for 2 hours. And I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm sitting there saying, well, I guess I got to pull out something. I'll go in one of his libraries and pull out a book. And then he'll look and say, all right, my son, how are you doing over there? I said, I'm doing fine. I said, what's going on in the paper? Well, you know, it is what it is. Next thing I know, he was walking over somewhere and getting a magazine. I said, what you reading? I'm flipping through these magazines, son. And what I began to learn is that when I went many days, he says, you know where your room is at? You're at home. There's no cook around here, so you'll do whatever you need to do. When I would come, he said, bring your cook with you.
Yes.
So I would travel with my cook there. But the interesting part about all this is that in his presence, we did more talking on the phone. We might have gone out a couple of times. We sat at the table and talked. When we got back, it was like it was nothing to talk about.
Wow, that's amazing.
And where you begin to learn from the mentor is you learn by observation. There are some things that's got to be absorbed. There's some things that got to be caught because it can't be taught.
You know, Master Prophet, that is so amazing. I have so many women emailing me or writing, ask me, Pastor Deborah, can you mentor me? And you know, and there was always a part of me that said, Lord, yes, but they don't understand, and that is the missing element. They want you to sit there. Okay, the ABCs of mentoring, it's not ABCs. You got to, by observation, you got to capture it, because I can't give it to you. And it's just like with Elijah and Elisha. When Elijah told Elisha, if you see me, it was observation. He had to be there in order to receive that double portion.
Yes. And you know, even to the point of getting in and out of cars, he said, son, you don't get out of Rolls Royces like that. That's how you get out. Says, make your driver hand you his hand with his thumb up, pull from the stronger finger. Don't be rocking back and forth in the car. When I was getting in and out of the limousine, he said, don't be crawling in the thing like you're crawling into a hole. Put your butt in first and sit down on the seat and then slide it. He would sit there and say that when you're getting out, said, don't be just trying to make one. He says, you move to the edge of the seat and slide up. And so he was teaching. But see, I would have never learned that in a book. When I would sit down and eat with them, he says, why is your knife on the table? Why are you building a ramp to your plate? Coaching, taking you to the next level. That's what you need. You need a coach. Else none of this stuff is going to make sense. You'll be able to spit out a bunch of wisdom. You'll be able to be an echo of somebody and spit out a bunch of stuff. but it would mean nothing. You'll be like a parrot.